Regensburg, a city which is located in the northernmost point near Danube River in the state of Braveria. From Munich International Airport, you can take Autobahn to reach Regensburg. You can reach Regensburg by train also. In Regensburg, you will feel that past lives in present. Stone Bridge in Regensburg. It is a 12th century bridge across the Danube River linking the old town with Stadt am Hub. For more than 800 years, until 1930s, it was the city's only bridge across the river. It is a masterwork of medieval construction and an emblem of the city. The stone bridge was built in only 11 years, probably in 1135 to 1146. It served as a model for other stone bridges built in Europe in 12th century and 13th centuries. For centuries, it was the only bridge over the river between Ulm and Vienna, making Regensburg into a major center of trade and government. The stone bridge is an arch bridge with 16 arches. At the south end, the first arch and first pier were incorporated into the Regensburg salt store when it was built in 1616 to 1620, but remained in place under the approach road to the bridge. An archaeological investigation was performed in 2009 and revealed fire damage during the Middle Ages. In 2006, the World Heritage Committee listed Regensburg Old Town as UNESCO World Heritage Site. Look at this restaurant. This is historic sausage kitchen of Regensburg, and this is notable as far as the oldest continuously open public restaurant in the world. The architecture of Regensburg represents the city's role as a medieval trading center and its influence in the region north of the Alps. The town of Regensburg bears an exceptional testimony of cultural tradition, especially in the Holy Roman Empire, being the location of most of the assemblies of empire in the High Middle Ages. Regensburg also significantly contributed to more recent European history, being a seat of the Perpetual Assembly from 1663 to 1806. There are the remains of two imperial Palatine palaces from the 9th century and a large number of other well-preserved historic buildings, which are testimony of the wealth and the political importance of the community. Regensburg Cathedral German dome, St. Peter or Regensburg dome, also known as St. Peter's Cathedral, is an example of important Gothic architecture within the German state of Braveria. It is a landmark for the city of Regensburg, Germany, and the seat of the Catholic Diocese of Regensburg. The original church, called Niedermünster, which is built west of where the current cathedral stands, was built around the year 700. Where it was positioned was some distance away from the Porta Pretoria, which was a northern gate of Regensburg old legionary fortress called Castra Regina. Although it was a tomb for Erhard of Regensburg, it was first a chapel for a royal family, burnt down in 1273. And because of good economic status of Regensburg, at the time a new cathedral was able to be constructed. The architecture that took over supervision over the new cathedral in 1280 was trained in France, and because of this there was an incorporation of French Gothic architectural themes. This included a central nave that divides into three sections: buttress, vaulting, and two towers over a facade. By 1320, the three choirs of the cathedral were ready for use, and in between 1385 and 1415, the main entrance to the west was completed. Most of edifice was finished around the year 1520, and this was also the opening year for the cathedral. One of the cathedral's builder, Matthew Rochester, created and taught a way to take an elevation through the ground plan. The technique used to find the elevation does through a square, and from this square he was able to develop the proportions of the cathedral's pinnacles. Between 1828 and 1841, the cathedral underwent a new Gothic renovation. Between 1859 and 1869, the towers as well as their spires were completed, and 3 years later the cathedral was fully complete. Cathedral Building Workshop was founded in 1923 for the oversight, maintenance, and restoration of Regensburg Cathedral. One of the organization's restoration projects occurred during 2000. The Permanent Imperial Diet 1663 to 1806 in the old town hall of the city of Regensburg marks the beginning of a continuous representation of the imperial estates in the Holy Roman Empire. This is regarded as an early precursor of the Federal Council of the Federal Republic of Germany today.
This country, the sun will never go down. No?
Once in Regensburg, one must not forget to visit Valhalla. Valhalla is a hall of fame that honors laudable and distinguished people in German history, politicians, sovereigns, scientists, and artists of German tongue. Thus, the celebrities honored are drawn from Greater Germany, a wider area than today's Germany, and even as far away as Britain in the case of several Anglo-Saxons who were honored. The hall is a new classical building above the Danube River in Donaustadt, east of Regensburg in Braveria. Valhalla is named for the Valhalla in Norse paganism. It was conceived in 1807 by Crown Prince Ludwig in order to support the gathering momentum for the unification of the many German states. Following his accession to the throne of Braveria, construction took place between 1830 and 1842 under the supervision of the architect Leo von Klenze. The memorial displays some 65 plaques and 130 busts covering 2000 years of history, beginning with Arminius' victory at the Battle of the Teutoburg Forest in 89. Valhalla's masterful location on a hill overlooking the Danube River is a popular day trip destination from nearby Regensburg, with many travelers taking half-day pleasure cruises down the Danube to this famous marble monument. The views and location are justifiably as popular as the visiting the temple and the Hall of Fame itself.